I belong to you.
Hi guys, it's Kelsey here. Welcome back to my channel, Law & Order SVU OC fan. So today's video is actually going to be a recap and review of last week's SVU episode, season 23, episode 4, called One Tale of Two Victims. Now, I do realize that this was the same night as the blackout happened, where people weren't going to be watching SVU live because of what was going down with, with Isabel and, that whole conversation and that whole mess. So, but I did watch the episode live. So just hear my thoughts on it really quick, and then I will give a recap on it. So I did actually like the episode a lot. It was very heartbreaking at the end when there wasn't really justice for Crystal Nunez's character. It was all about, getting justice for the police commissioner's daughter, or, the police captain's daughter. So I think that, it was just still heartbreaking, because that's what the justice system is. Unfortunately, it's just very heartbreaking. We don't always get what we want. We don't, always win. We lose, and sometimes it really hurts. So in the beginning of the episode, we see Velasco basically trying to get on the squad's good side. Unfortunately, nobody trusts him because McGrath, put him there as a mole, I think, to kind of spy on the squad. More on my thoughts on McGrath a little bit later. But I just think that I think Velasco is a good cop. He seems to be a good cop and wants to do right by the squad and right by Captain Benson. He actually tries to take Kat's desk, and, Finn tells him no. But I do think he's trying to do right by everybody. I don't know what his intentions are, if McGrath is telling him stuff and he's just there just because McGrath put him there, or he actually wants to be a part of SVU and a part of the squad. We get to see this woman who is, going on a date. She's getting her kid an ice cream in the beginning. And then we see these two men kind of watching her very creepily. She gets scared, but then later on in the night, she goes on this date. She goes to this party, gets intimate with this guy. And then at the end of the night, we see her getting raped by this guy, and her poor son has to watch his mother get raped by this guy. And that's just very traumatizing, very heartbreaking to watch. It was hard to watch for me. So then Benson gets word of it, and at the same time, she's going to meet with McGrath, and Finn's also going to meet with McGrath. McGrath has also taken up Garland's office, which that was a pretty quick move. McGrath seems to be very out of touch with what SVU is and what SVU does, because he just seems to be, he's trying to make it nice with the squad, but Benson and Finn just see right through his bullshit. Like, they don't like him, for whatever reason. He just seems to be very out of touch with what SVU is and what SVU does, in my personal opinion. So they find out about the woman's rape. Her name is Crystal Nunez, and, they talk to her. They talk to the ice cream guy. He said, oh, these two guys were creepily watching her. But then they talk with Crystal. They find out she hasn't been very vocal on all the details with what she told Rollins earlier in the hospital. She had been sleeping with her ex, and she had slept with this guy that night before she was raped. So it doesn't make her a very credible witness, but it does not excuse her, it doesn't excuse that she was assaulted. She was assaulted. Crystal thinks they don't believe her, which of course they do believe her. And then we find out that another woman was attacked the same way. Benson and Rollins go over to her house. She was actually attacked in front of her baby girl. And it turns out that the victim is a police captain's daughter, and McGrath now wants it investigated ASAP. He wants to catch this guy. When he wasn't very concerned about Crystal Nunez's credibility, he wasn't too concerned about getting justice for her, but when it was a police captain's daughter, she got attacked the same way, it was okay for Benson and Finn and the whole team to investigate. which I didn't think was right. I thought McGrath was being such an asshole the entire episode. You know, like I said, I just think he's very out of touch with what SVU is and what SVU does. I don't think he respects Benson or Finn or the whole squad, and Benson and Finn and the whole squad don't respect him either. He is going to be temporary chief. I'm curious to see who they're going to bring in after him, or if they're going to make it a permanent role for him. Who knows? So then we find out, you know, they interview the woman, the police captain's daughter. Her name is Peggy. So she goes and, you know, gives them details, you know, how she basically fought him off this time, as opposed to Crystal. She tried to fight back and she couldn't. And then they tried to get touch DNA, and it turns out it was the ice cream guy the entire time, which I predicted that from the very beginning of the episode when they first talked to him. I just thought, because he said something to Crystal as he was raping her, I just thought that's the guy's voice. I immediately knew it from the beginning when they were first talking to him. So then they find him. He tries to get away, and Velasco, I think he was trying to redeem himself, goes and tackles him, arrests him, cuffs him. Like I said, he's trying to get on the squad's good side, especially Finn's, because he's sergeant. I think Benson likes Velasco. Rollins, I think, does, but, you know, who knows? I did hear the actor who plays him is now a series regular, and a lot of people had mixed feelings about it because they got rid of Jamie and Damore so quickly, and then they promote this guy to series regular after only 2 episodes, appearing in 2 episodes. So then the trial begins, and we find out, you know, basically Crystal isn't a credible witness because she didn't give every single detail to the police about what happened that night. You know, she was intimate with 2 guys. You know, she wasn't, you know, very credible, but that doesn't hide. She was raped, but at the end of the day, she didn't give all the details, but that doesn't make it right that they didn't get justice for her. They only got justice for Peggy. You know, I just think that just because the police captain's daughter was raped doesn't mean we shouldn't get justice for the other woman as well. I just think that McGrath was being very, you know, discriminatory and, you know, just all sorts of wrong. And then at the end of the episode, we do get Benson going into McGrath's office, basically telling him, you know, I'm not going to turn my back on any victim. You know, what you did was wrong. You know, I've been a police captain, you know, I've been a part of SVU for 23 years, you know, I'm not going to turn my back on any victim. And if you don't understand that, then you can take my badge and my gun right now. I thought that was super cool of Benson to say that to him and to stand up to him like that. I was waiting for that moment, actually, for her to stand up to him finally, because basically saying, look, you don't know what I'm capable of, you don't know what you're doing. You know, this is what SVU is and what SVU does. I stand by all victims. I believe all victims, no matter if they divulge all the details or not. You know, victims, you know, she helps victims and fights for truth and fights for justice in every single way that she possibly can. And that's Olivia Benson summed up in a nutshell. She's got hope. She's got heart. She fights for truth and justice. She's a badass. She's a fighter, you know, she's all these things, and that's what basically she told McGrath. And McGrath kind of laughs and says, okay, you win. So I'm wondering if we're going to get more moments between them like that, you know, her standing up to him, basically saying, look, this is my squad. I know how to handle SVU and you don't. So I think, like I said, the episode I enjoyed overall. I didn't think it was fair that they didn't get justice for Crystal, you know, McGrath being such an ass, and, you know, having the police captain's daughter's case being taken over Crystal's case, I didn't think was fair. But, you know, unfortunately, that's how the justice system works. And I'm curious to see what you guys thought of the episode. If you guys watched live or if you watched the next day, comment below, let me know. Like and subscribe to my channel, guys. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.